Hey everyone, it's Luke here at the end of PAX with Mimo.
I am not Luke.
No, that's it. So I think it's safe to say at this point that we came, we saw and we PAXed.
Oh, we PAXed.
We PAXed hard.
Yeah.
Yep. So in the vein of PAXing hard, how's the weekend been for you?
Really good. It's safe to say at the end of Sunday, I think everyone's feeling the same way. There is a lot to see and a lot to do, and there is still things that we haven't seen and we won't see.
No.
There's not nearly enough time in PAX to do it all, but it's been good. How about you?
4-day con next time would be really welcome, I think.
Oh gosh, I don't know if I can do 4 days.
Stamina, yeah. No, I've had a great PAX. I think, like we keep on saying every single year, PAX just changes. It morphs into a new animal every single year. There's things that, we see more of each year, less of each year. It feels like a different experience and always makes you want to come back for the following one. So
definitely.
Let's round everything out. And if you had to pick a top three, shall we count down and do that? So what's your number three, Mimo?
Probably my number three this year has been, last year I was an Omeganaut, and so this year watching the Omeganauts go through the process has been really interesting. We have missed a couple of rounds here and there, but the ones that I have seen have been really, really good. And it is awesome to see a new group of people go through. There's been a couple who were in last year's Omegathon as well, or have been in Meganauts before, so I think that's giving them a lot of help along the way, but that's been really good, and it's always that vibe around it. And when we lined up for the very first round, the fact that there was people who couldn't get in, like it was too full.
Very popular.
Yeah, incredibly popular, and so we are about to go into the final round, so that's been a really cool journey to watch.
Yeah, so fair bit less pressure for you than last year. Yeah.
I mean, definitely. And also, just a bit of an outsider's view, so not just going as an attendee or as an Omeganaut, just going as a general attendee and seeing how many people have an interest in it is really cool.
Yeah, nice. Well, for number three for me, there's a little game that caught my attention in the PAX Rising area, which I did not expect at all. A little rhythm game by the name of Spin Rhythm. So it's basically like your Audio Surf sort of meets Thumper kind of experience, and played on a touch screen, or they actually had a spin deck there on the desk.
DJ Luke coming at you.
Yeah, well, let's not get too crazy here. I was certainly not DJ level, but and I think I saw Jam a little bit later actually smashing this thing a lot harder than I could.
Yeah, Jam 100%ed the game. Just walked up and go, I'll just try it on this new thing that I've never done before. Casual 100%.
Yeah.
So.
Did you get that photo? If not, no one will ever know.
No, I said I corroborated it, and I do have video of the beginning of it, and you can tell that Jam is doing just fine.
Yeah. So when that comes out on mobile, I will be grabbing that at a moment's notice. It looks like a lot of fun, sort of casual thing to do in transit. So yeah, Spin Rhythm. There you go. Number two?
Number two was a game I actually played this morning. It was one of the showcase winners. It's called A Garden Between, I think. Garden Between. Really, really good. It's a game in which you don't control the characters, you control the time.
Oh, okay.
So it's a puzzle game in that, and there's lots of little bits and pieces you have to try and figure out. They've got a little demo here. I spoke to the one of the guys from the game, and they actually took it over to Seattle. And so the demo build for this one was a little bit easier because they just had to fix a couple of things from Seattle. But they've enjoyed being the showcase here, and it was a great game. Had a lot of time in that, and you'll hear more about that on the podcast.
Nice. Well, number two for me was something we actually caught the first glimpse of earlier this year at E3 2017, and got to experience that on the show floor this year with a very, very cool setup booth, very in theme, sort of androids in the windows. I've captured some footage of that so we can share that around. Detroit Beyond Human.
Yeah.
So come in and just a little game. Yeah, just a little one. A lot of fun though, as it turns out. It combines the best investigative elements of like your Arkham style games, so your Batman investigation sort of mechanics in those games, with like a a very tense dialogue tree-based hostage negotiation situation. So now I get the impression the rest of the game is not quite exactly the same as that, but it is very choice-based, and a lot of the stuff that goes on puts you under a bit of time pressure too. So if you dilly-dally and seek for more information, it's not quite as easy to finish as you'd think it would be. So
yeah, I don't think it's for me.
No.
Sounds like it's for you though.
It's a lot of fun, yeah, absolutely. All right, and number one.
And number one has to be, I didn't know they were going to be here. We wandered past the Xbox booth on day one, and Ooblets is here, which is super exciting. So if you don't watch the podcast, you don't know that I'm entirely obsessed with this game. It's effectively a Pokemon game. You grow your own little pets, they follow you around, and you fight. And it's a very small demo. The game is in very early stages of development and will be coming out later in 2018. But I did not expect it to be on the floor. So that's my number one, because I've been looking at that game ever since they did the announcement at E3. So I was really excited about that. No Moss this year. I did say I hoped they would be here, and they're not, which is very unfortunate, but Ooblets definitely gets number one for me.
It's okay. Lots of other good VR things to tuck your teeth into in the meantime. Yeah. Well, number one for me might be a little bit of a gimme. It's the first time we've actually managed to see this one down in Oz. Finally, brought down to the people, we have Acquisitions Incorporated Australia, and the special Star Wars theme that they did on the game this year, the Spin by Microholic, sort of running a really, really good session using the Star Wars, help me out, it was the Edge of the Empire, Edge of the Empire system. So they actually explained it fairly well on the fly. So done with digital dice, program in game, shown up on screen, and everybody playing very, very intriguing characters. We had Holly Conrad over, Jesse Cox came over for as well, Chris Straub as well, of course, and Jerry Hawkins, and played a fantastic game, which I believe will be available on the PAX channel on Twitch. So if you've missed that one, which if you're not here, you probably have, go and check it out. You'll be able to relive all of the glory of that particular game. A whole bunch of fun.
And there's plenty more. I mean, this is just our top three, but there's lots of other things. We did our podcast this morning with Pixel Sift.
Absolutely.
So that had a lot of our indie game stuff in it, because we have a big focus between the two podcasts on the indie side of things. So this is just the top three, and so much more to come on the podcast. We really can't fit it all into all of the little videos we do for this weekend. So.
Absolutely. So tune in. Make sure you check out Party Loaded on iTunes or all the usual places you get podcast. Blah. Get your podcast. Blah, blah. I'm all paxed out, Mimo. Let's wrap this one up.
We're done. I'm out.
We're done. Thanks everybody for looking, and we'll see you next time.